Against the Storm. Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome to our first look at the now finally fully released version of this survival city builder taking place in an endless apocalyptic storm, causing flooding and more havoc across the lands. Well, this game is quite interesting, and about 2 years ago we took our first look at the early access beta to this game. I believe it was just available on the Epic Game Store, so even now you may have not heard of it. Then for about a year it entered access on Steam and other platforms, receiving more and more updates over time, and on their roadmap, updating more and more things before now their final early access version before release. I'm recording this about a day early, but this is the closest we can get to the 1.0 version before its release, which should be out now as you're watching this. Well, if you're a big fan of Kingdoms Reborn, you'll enjoy this game immensely, as it does basically feature a lot of decisions and strategy about not only how you lay out your city, but the buildings that you'll choose and the people that you'll bring with you to make very important decisions and ship things back to the main kingdom as you're going out to set up colonies, kind of like it is in They Are Billions, where the further you get away from the main city, you're trying to set up networks that will funnel things back to the capital city in order to then build a fledgling and then finally a flourishing kingdom. Well, if you'd like to see more of this game and games like Manor Lords and Farthest Frontier and more, of course, Against the Storm, make sure you go ahead and click or tap that like button. Subscribe right now. Most people watch the channel all the time and yet haven't subscribed, so don't forget to do that. And of course, become a member by smacking that join button. And of course, getting access to tons of emotes and much more for our live streams. Now, we may get additional keys for this one and many other games to give away, so make sure you're on the Discord too. Don't be afraid to come say hi. And without further ado, let's start our first look at the full release version of Against the Storm. Again, this is still early access version, but the developers assure me that this is pretty much 99.9% here, with one last thing coming before the full release.
The world is plagued by the Blight Storm, a vile cycle of destruction ravaging everything in its path. The only safe haven is the smoldering city where the mysterious scorched queen reigns. You are one of her viceroys, a pioneer sent into the wilds, tasked with establishing new settlements and acquiring valuable resources for the crown. Your goal is to help rebuild the smoldering city and secure the future of the Queen's subjects.
Ah, the Queen's Envoy. Use WSAD or the mouse to move the camera. Now we can also use Q and E to rotate and the scroll wheel to zoom. Excellent. That's helpful. The Queen's Envoy says, neglecting your village will increase the Queen's impatience and bring her wrath upon you. Yeah, look at that. She's already mad. We haven't even been here 10 seconds and the bar's already filling up. Fulfilling your duties will increase the town's reputation, unlock new buildings, and eventually bring you to victory. Now, pick a new blueprint. Click on the crown icon below. Each expedition starts with only a few essential blueprints. More will be given to you as you gain reputation points. Now, pick the woodcutter's camp. Ah, a basic building will probably start with every time. Press space to resume. And build the woodcutter's camp and explore the forest. You have to keep the fire going at all times. Oh, that might be the reason for wood. Making it a little bit like Frostpunk then, to continuously be fueling the flames. In this case, instead of to keep warm, really to keep light, maybe? And keep these storms away, so to speak. Alright, let's go ahead and build this then. Aha! So we have access to roads and camps. We can, of course, build food production, housing, industry buildings, city buildings, and then decorations too. And then the ability to select and deselect trees we want to cut down or to destroy buildings or deposits. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with a woodcutter's camp. And let's go ahead and build one over... Let's build one over here, close to the fire. Rotate with R, and we'll plop that down. So now it just needs to be built. Now, interestingly enough, at first glance, we have, of course, my people. The lizards here. You can actually see that we're working together with 3 groups of people then for the Queen. So there's beavers, lizards, and humans working together. So apparently Timberborn makes an appearance too, basically. So they're basically craftsmen or good builders. The lizards are very good with fighting, and the humans are kind of a mix of both. so they're really good mid-ground. But they can all work, and they can all fight. Let's go ahead and assign some workers now. Let's go ahead and go with the beavers. I believe, of course, not only because they're good with handling wood, but I think the bonus for these guys is that they might have a 10% chance to make more materials. So if you put them in a particular building, you might be highly likely to get bonus materials or extra materials. All right, looks like we're assigned new orders here, so let's go ahead and find out what's coming in from the Queen. Current objectives then are to build woodcutters camps, have X number of wood in those camps, and then we receive beavers and a reinforced axe too, which is a perk that will increase our ability to cut down wood by 40%, and then the Queen's Grace, which allows us to get more reputation. So let's go ahead and take a look at what happens here. This is chosen automatically, but there is the option to choose that in that menu in future missions. Alright, so now they're bringing all those logs over to the storage area just behind the, as they call it here, the small hearth. And this building is known as the main storage. So a warehouse to store pretty much everything, including food and building materials, all stored together. Luckily in the wet, well, out of the wet areas and kept dry. Nice, high and dry. Very good. Okay, winning and losing. So we have a big O tutorial here. So we have information on pretty much everything in the game. Like, for example, hub units and recipes and farming. All part of the game. All the different buildings that we can construct and what they'll do and how to basically build them, like a hydrant, and their cost too. That's really helpful, by the way. A lot of games don't necessarily show you what a building will take to build until you've either researched it or have done something down the line. So to see what's possible now and how to build it is pretty good. And also some things unlocking at different levels, which the more we play this, the more buildings that we'll get access to as well. So not everything's revealed up front. Now, of course, we have different traders that will come in at different levels. And then it looks like the humans, the lizards, and the beavers, and then one more, I guess, species unlocked later on. And then the different factions, which might play differently. No bees, no honey, no work, no money. Wow. That's a good one. All right, let's keep on trucking so we can read about all these guys and all their differences. Let's see what else we can build. They literally are just locking us to building that so far. Can we build roads, though? We certainly can. All right, well, let's build a pathway to these, those things over there that look a little strange. These little humps of, like, light-looking mud are actually clay deposits, so we should be able to go and mine that out. There we go. We'll indicate a road to be built around the hearth and then in front of the logging camp too. So they should be able to easily access the roadway. Even if it doesn't connect to the front, we can still kind of leave a little alleyway there, and that's just fine. Alright, so now they want us to build another woodcutter camp, so let's do that on the other side. And we need to just get a little bit more wood. In fact, we got more than enough wood, but we'll build it a little further away. Now, there's also pretty hostile creatures out there. We can be attacked by, from what I can recall, a giant worm of some sort, like a rackus, which could cause earthquakes, and there are reasons to go out and actually find these creatures and kill them before they cause too much trouble or damage to your camps. So in each of these little glades, there could be revealed a group of enemies or a group of supplies or a trader, something good or something bad, like for example here, a dangerous glade that we then need to clear out, but we can find our way there by cutting through all the trees. So this thick forest, if we're going to find these locations, we have to actually make pathways to get there. So essentially, being in a massive forest like this, our only option is to cut through, and essentially we're on an island, it looks like. But that might just be for some of the initial levels. Later on, we're going to go to other locations too. It's not all just thick alpine forest like this. Looks like the orders are now ready to complete, so we can do so up here. And let's deliver, receiving more workers and better equipment. New goal now is to cut into 2 of the glades, have 5 beavers working as woodcutters, and from that we'll get more humans and some meat. Excellent. Somebody's going to go to Arby's, make a little swing by the old drive-thru. Excellent. Make myself a beef and cheddar, but that's just me. Alright, 3 more beavers on that job too. We'll be pumping out wood like crazy, and then we'll be able to cut into these glades as they've requested. Well, let's go ahead and do that here and here. And we can also cut into these glades as well. Now, there's also things that we can gather. For example, these moss broccoli. It almost looks like big cabbages to me. But these things can actually be harvested by groups that are called scavengers and gatherers. gathering things like eggs and I believe carrots and insects and cabbages that basically are broccoli, except they're shaped like cabbages, but they probably taste like broccoli. I don't know. I'm all into that, so that's just fine by me. And eventually move out into these other areas to kind of take over the whole island. Now, this is just a tutorial island, so the maps are much, much, much bigger than this. So just keep in mind that this is not like the overall size at all. It's kind of just, you know, restricted a little bit so that way you can learn. Now they want us to send out expeditions to some of these areas. Great little tips and tricks here in the game for videos too, which by the way allows us to, as they were trying to show before, a little video on screen to show you what to click or where to find it. Very helpful. They're trying at least. Alright, time to click. Wait, let's see if there's any more. No, okay. They want us to pick a blueprint. And that's from here. Yes, the reputation bonus. So now we can build a shelter, can accommodate any villager, but won't satisfy the need for a species-specific home. So the three different groups that we were looking at all have different needs, and they want homes built specifically for them. And so something we'll have to do over time, but go ahead and build a few homes here now. I think we'll start with 4 just in case we get more people, which we are actually going to with the beavers receiving more friends in the camp. So let's actually go with 6 homes instead. I believe each of these hold 3, and right now our population is at, well, I don't think it's 8, 11, and 16. I think these are our reputation numbers. Our resolve, yeah. They're basically content. So you're the lord. In this case, you are like a manor lord, if you will, right? Back in medieval times, you'll have the king and then the lords of the counties. And so you report back to the king, or in this case, the queen, and all of these people are our subjects, but we need to definitely keep them happy. And there are different groups of people within those groups that are going out away from the volcano, which we'll see on the world map in just a second. But anyway, orders are ready to complete. We've done what we've been asked again. So let's go ahead and receive. And the next goal now is to build a forger's camp and start harvesting that, what's it called, the broccoli. Alright, so back to the forgers. Or we need to unlock that from our little, oh, we also have a trading post available, but not at the moment. There we go, the forger's camp here, which can then gather grain, insects, and vegetables. Now keep in mind that the forger's camp doesn't pick up eggs, and there's a few different things that they can and can't pick up. And there are like 2 or 3 buildings for picking up stuff off the ground that are made of basic organic material, like vegetation. So just keep that in mind when you're building some of these structures. The next thing we'll do is build a road between the warehouse and the hearth if we can. I'm not sure if it'll let us do that. Oh, we have different styles of road too. There we go. So we might actually be able to build cobblestone roads, which of course will increase the movement speed of our people and also look a lot nicer too, to be honest. This game is really nice looking. For whatever reason, some of the structures remind me of what I could build in Valheim, and so it kind of reminds me of some of the structures from that game, including the initial starting area where you hang all the things from the bosses when you defeat them, or some of the storages that I wish I could build with beautiful round roofs or doing more painting, that type of thing. Alright, well, we're kind of out of beavers for now, so let's have the humans do this one. We'll get the lizards on some more, maybe aggressive jobs here in a little bit. But now we've got 2 people transporting food back to the forger camp, and then taking that from the forger's camp to the warehouse, and that'll complete that goal as well. They're asking us to mark even more trees for harvest now, as the loggers have done a great job of cutting down all of the trees that were initially available. Let's go ahead and keep cutting into these glades. There we go. Kind of reminds me of the tactics in World of Warcraft as well, the RTS game. Some of the missions required you to cut through to different forests, or really what a lot of players will do in Age of Empires as well, now that you can't cross through forests in that game. As I think is per tradition, you can build tons of castles and things like that inside of forests, and of course like make a wall and then build a gate, and people won't be able to flank around it. The forests are too thick. So that kind of reminds me of doing that too. Alright, newcomers are waiting. Alright, too soon for dangerous glades. Oh, are we cutting into that? Oh, thank you for the reminder, game. Well, they did a good job of helping me. Remember that. I didn't remember that the large dangerous glades marker is there, so that is helpful. Wow, they thought of everything. Wow, is this a platypus? Okay. Love the different animal types and stuff here. They look cool. Go ahead and accept the grain there. We can only choose one goal or one reward for accomplishing the goal, so we'll go with that one. We got plenty of people in the camp now, so I don't know if we want more, some of which are kind of standing around, so I don't want more people just kind of sitting around. Get our reward then from the queen, and make sure we deliver that reward. There we go. Or deliver to get the reward. We can now build a stonecutter's camp and start harvesting clay. Now we get our reward, which is the stonecutter's camp. And we can harvest clay. Imagine that. Now these buildings can also be moved pretty easily, so whenever a woodcutter's camp is a little further away from where it should be, there is sometimes a movement cost for moving a woodcutter's camp, or really any building. Looks like we can also move the houses at a cost of materials. So if you need to move something out of the way but still need the capacity for homes or for storage, you can always do that at the cost of some materials, or in some cases free. Very useful that way. Now let's go ahead and assign people at the Stonecutter's camp now. We'll go ahead and have the lizards do a little work here. There we go. And now they're coming over with pickaxes to mine the clay out and put that into storage. Completing another goal for us very soon. Like for the most part, the queen is not so impatient. And we're knocking out goals left and right. Good. Good. Is this a... What are these things? Oh, those are people. Are those the humans? Yeah, it looks to be. The beavers will walk around in these green cloaks. The humans will kind of be in these weird turtle shell things, which look like they're almost like wearing a canoe on their head. Looks like they're woven. And the, looks like the lizards will kind of wear like a poncho with a straw hat with metal on it. Kind of reminding me of like Johnny Cage or something from Mortal Kombat. Very cool. Alright, our reputation is going down automatically because of the rains. The rain has now changed to a violent storm, which will last about a minute, and everybody's just going to be unhappy from having to work outside. But in order to survive, instead of dying to death, people wish to live to life. And so if they're going to do that, they have to work a little bit, which is a little better than dying, I'd say. Alright, let's turn in our quest then. Order's ready to complete. Boom. Next goal is to start harvesting plant fiber. We'll be able to harvest flax, I believe, right over here. These little blue flowers, flax can be used to make linen, which can be used to make clothing, and other things, but let's go ahead and accept the harvester's camp here. Looks like it can also harvest reed. Okay, let's build that building somewhere along the main path. Gotta build like a little production nuke there for us. Kinda cute. What is this here? We have some root deposits and some eggs. We'll be able to harvest that as well. So 2 types of food now from that, eggs and root. And of course also the cabbage coming in. Alright, the structure should be built shortly. There it is. And let's go ahead and get some humans on that one. Beautiful. Alright, now the humans are working, and they're working in conjunction with everybody else. Even more humans are working. Happiness going back up now that the storm has broken for a little while. Drizzle year 2, next clearance in about 5 minutes. So it might back off even further. Maybe there's 3 levels to the storm. Light, medium, and violent storm. It is a possible fact that it will never end, hence the name Against the Storm. That is what it is all about. Oh, great. And line graphs up top showing you all sorts of materials going up and down. You're going to always be seeing up and down based on you expanding. Now, once these are ready, the queen is going to want a lot of these things shipped back to the kingdom, so that will help us to ensure that all these materials are delivered by letting us make them. Beavers are doing a good job. Looks like the lizards are hanging in there. And the humans are pumping away at their tasks as well. Very good. Let's build a few more roads just to make things look nice. Perhaps we can put a road in front of the hearth. Alright, a few more roads to be built on this side. And at least all the jobs are fulfilled for now. Nice to hear all the construction. Nice building descriptions, too. Look at that. The water wheel on top of the workshop is coming away at all the rainwater. The rainfall is so aggressive from up in the sky that it actually turns the water wheel. That's concerning. How much water is actually coming? If this is not the rainy season, this must be pre-monsoon, and that must be crazy when it comes and actually pours down on the buildings for a large-scale storm. Newcomers are waiting. Let's get... let's go with 3 humans. There we go. Alright, looks like they've made 2 of everything so far. So planks, bricks, and fabric are all being made at one factory. So we could also make another one, but keep in mind we needed additional workers for that. And if we need to build something else, it takes a long time for people to come in, based on completing goals and the city reputation. I gotta say, the city looks really nice. I like the art style here, the design on the buildings, and the overall concept of breaking into these glades and taking advantage of whatever you find there in order to expand your economy or better the lives of your citizens. Pretty cool. Alright, now we just need fabric and planks to be made. Force delivery now. Well, there goes the rain again. Oh, are we going into a different season? We might see a little bit more trouble soon. Okay, we just need planks to be made now. And as soon as that is done, I believe the Queen will be pleased. Good. 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 Oh, I love how the rain actually falls into the water and how it looks. There's actually a shoreline here, too, that you can see creeping down into the depths of the lake floor or the ocean floor, depending on where we are. Orders ready to complete. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, last objective is to go into the dangerous glades and to receive an ancient tablet. Alright, big final last fight. Here we go. Alright, let's break through. Now we need to have our forces on standby. I don't think there's any sort of military buildings we can construct in order to defend ourselves, perhaps. A lizard post. Peace of mind. Important shelter. Decorations are used to advance hubs. Oh, okay. I'm still not sure if it really does anything, though. It seems to be decorative in every way, shape, and form. But it does say that decorations are used to advance hubs, so it's needed to advance. Beaver house, human house, or lizard house. The beavers have been working like crazy, so let's go ahead and give them some homes. Time to upgrade. Alright, let's build 2 beaver homes to start with. And a path to connect them. Alright, we're cutting through. Let's go ahead and delete all these other areas and focus on the main dangerous glade. Alright, all other obstacles removed, aside from breaking through. Our big moment. Let's move this other woodcutter's camp over. See if they can work in conjunction. There we go. More roads. So we see remnants of some sort of landscape before where everything was made of cobble. But it looks like Mother Nature reclaimed these lands after some time. You can see cobblestone, pathways, other clearings, town squares. There certainly was a kingdom here before, and the lands were claimed by this blight, as they say. Okay, we're about ready to break into the northern section here. Let's call this north. Don't see a compass at the moment. Alright, one of the beaver houses is finished, basically. And they can keep themselves in there year-round quite nice and happy. Unfortunately, it only houses 2 residents. But we'll keep them a lot happier for their species type. Alright, a little bit more logging to do up there in the north. And then we have broken through. What could be on the other side? Now, as I've said before, there are like worms and other creatures that will attack, but the biggest rewards are where there usually is the biggest risk. We could always, of course, become weakened, or we could lose people in our city or be attacked once we crack this open. So it's important to be very careful and ready once it happens. It's gonna happen any moment. Okay, let's move the lumber camps a little closer. And it looks like we can move these buildings on a moment's notice. Alright, both logging camps are ready. I think we just needed to bring them a little closer so they could do the job a little faster. And this is just the basics. Things will get much more complicated than this. Alright, looks like they're getting ready to clear the path. I can see them cutting down trees. And there we are. An ancient shrine. Assign some workers there. Alright, let's get 3 beavers now. And assign them as workers. And investigate. They seem old and wise too, not only just tinkerers, but also as people who study. Blade events. Oh yes. Is that like a... It looks like a cauldron on spider legs. That's great. All sorts of crazy things lay in store for us out there. Giant spiders, zombie armies, and more. Oh. Stonecutter has died. Oh, they released a curse, yes. Oh my goodness. Alright, by discovering that shrine, yeah, we unleashed an ancient curse. Oh boy. So good and bad things can happen. Egg delivery line or a fiber delivery line. Let's do fiber. That way we get faster internet. You know what I mean? Alright, mark trees for harvest. So we're all done there. Let's go ahead and clear these trees out. So now, the more and more we build, the more and more of a circle around our initial starting camp we can build, and that will allow us, of course, to build many more buildings within that short space, and also a lot faster too, because they'll all be close together. So when the beavers have to go to a warehouse to get construction materials and deliver it, they can easily do that without walking too far, and that's why the roads are important too. Well, the queen is growing impatient. We're about almost halfway to her impatience, but we've almost done this. We've got almost enough reputation to bring it on to the next one. Soon. Very, very soon. I love this game's music and atmosphere, art style, and the music's pretty chill, somewhere between Foundation and maybe a little bit of perhaps Manor Lords, but that might be going a little too far. It's definitely chill, and the subject matter of the game and the way you have to build are quite fast. We have to do a lot of things quickly. Alright, settlement complete. We've delivered the last task for the Queen, unlocking trading posts and farming, storage and small hearths, which we can build ourselves, and much more. Excellent. Let's move on to our next mission then. Time to continue. Villagers with low resolve will start leaving, increasing the Queen's impatience. Keeping resolve exceptionally high will grant passive reputation over time. Satisfying your villagers' needs with complex food, homes, and services will increase their resolve. Each species has a different mix of needs. It's hard to please everyone all the time. Yeah, I was thinking of how difficult it is to place them in homes too, since you'll have to build 3 different types and unlock them as well. Farmers can only plant on farm fields, and those can only be built on fertile soil. Crops are planted in the first season, drizzle, and harvested during the second, clearance. Wow. So no more spring and summer. It's basically just drizzle, clearance, and then heavy, heavy rains. Build a farm, harvest grain, and serve some ale in a tavern. Oh, wow. Best game ever, guys. That, for whatever reason, I'm just starting to feel that that's just the case. Pick a blueprint. Small farm. Alright, so this can be placed anywhere where we can touch the grass. Let's go touch grass, chat. Let's do it. Well, let's do it where we can get all of that area. We'll lose 4, but well, here we'll actually just lose 2. That seems more strategic. And we'll start with 1. Okay. Let's unlock our time and build some roads. Now they're getting to work right away. So these tutorials continue for a little bit of time, and then we get access to a world map where then we can choose many different locations to go to on a hex layout. There seems to be different biomes that all surround the large volcano in the middle, so we'll be able to get there shortly. A little bit more to build this time around. A lot more about focusing on the people this time and the food that they eat and the things that they desire versus just clearly producing. Just straight up production is not going to be enough to save us here. Alright, small farm has no fertile fields nearby. Oh, we have to pick our crop, I believe. Oh, we have to build the fields too. Ah. So not only do we have to build the farm, but we have to build the farm next to grass, and then once the grass is built, we then can build a big old field. So that's good. And let's see if we can get the little expansion up here too that we bought. There we go. What are these? Snails? A slick shell. Broodmother. Small. Looks like it'll provide meat and leather for us. Interesting. Okay. So now we have 1 farm and 16 farm fields. That's good. Deliver. New objective then is to build a woodcutter's camp and a shelter. Alright, we're familiar with that before. And the shelter is unlocked. Yeah, from before we learned that, so let's go ahead and build 2 shelters. And let's build our woodcutter camp. Very good. We'll build that one there and cut into the glade below us. And then, since we need a second one, let's get a woodcutter camp there to go into the glade to the other side. Cool. Right, woodcutter camps are ready to go. Let's go ahead and assign 3 beavers to that one. And we'll start assigning all sorts of trees to be cut. And let's go with some humans here. Alright. So, barrel delivery line or reinforced tools. Ooh. Let's go with the tools. The farm will produce faster. Alright, the second shelter needs materials, which is exactly what's coming in from the logging camps. Wow, look at those beavers. Bringing it straight over. I love their cloaks. That looks really nice. Good color. Oh, they don't bring it directly to a construction site. They bring it to the warehouse, and then it looks like somebody might, yeah, go to the warehouse and then pick it up separately. So it goes from source to building to delivery to then construction site or building of use, it looks like. What is this? Hostility of the forest. Ooh. The higher that gets, the worse our situation's going to be. Okay. Another job complete. Should be able to turn that in now. Trapper's camp. That'll be used at where the snails are. So we'll unlock that next. So now we can make meat by trapping. And I don't know why we have to trap the snails. It's not like they're going to run or flee from us. So let's go with the Trapper's camp. And that's right over here. Ah, looks like we could build another farm field inside of there. Well, that's convenient. Let's build a road. There we go. And then we just need to provide meat now. So we're seeing a lot of the same things, but different ways to get them. Different types of food. Before, we were going for broccoli, and this time we're actually doing farming and trapping. So I would say this time around we got some better food options. This time with the what looks to be essentially like cabbage, a vegetable. And our meat. Alright, let's have the 2 humans do the trapping. And we'll build a road down there. Now we just need to have 5 meat rather, in the trapper. So we can assign, what, 2 people? 2 people, and we need to get 5 meat. Looks like we have some eggs, meat, vegetables, mushrooms already in the camp from the start. When we arrive, we do have some food and some supplies, so we can kind of do a little setup before really immediately starting to gather materials. Queen's impatience at 0.35. Two meat already trapped. Three, 4, more on the way. Take a look at decorations. We can put down barrels and some other things too. Looks like those need... yeah, looks like they need to be built. They don't just automatically pop up, they have to be constructed. Orders ready to complete. Good. Alright, let's get our reward. Let's go with, oh, there's some stone here. We don't have much of that, so let's go with that for now. And we're ready to take on more orders. Now, time to produce things. Let's see. A smokehouse, meat, and then jerky. Oh, wow. That'll last a little bit longer, I suppose. So we probably have to unlock that again from the requisition. For reputation. There it is. Our smokehouse now unlocked. Wow, that's a big O building right there. Gonna take some fabrics to build too. Not sure if we have what we need in storage for that, so let's just try to put it down first. If we build the building just like it is in most of these survival type games, a lot of things come down to free hands. So we'll need people to work, for example, at the hut to gather flax from the flax field. And then we'll also have to have people work at the smokehouse, which is going to take probably all of our free workers. We always want some, always a good idea to have a few more. For when you build something new that you need, it can be immediately taken care of and activated. Smokehouse complete? Let's go with 2 beavers and a human. And enable meat jerky in the recipes, which it is. Oh, we can also make pottery here and incense. Interesting. Used in the Holy Temple or possibly for trade. Alright, so now we're making jerky only. Actually, it says to enable that in the recipes. Ah, I see. We want to select how much, right? This is priority. This would be our limit. Looks like they are crafting it. Enable meat in jerky recipe. Oh, it's set to insects. I see. Okay. Gotcha. So, we're using wood. Oh, that's great. I like how that's set up. Okay, now that I understand that, we can click on what we want to make, which is, or what we want to use, which is meat. We want to turn meat into jerky, and then we can choose the fuel, which is oil, sea marrow, or coal, or wood. So it looks like there's ways to get fuel from sea marrow, which is essentially like a different type of coal. Or coal itself. That's really cool. Yeah, that took like a half second to learn that. That was awesome. Now we can make 20 jerky in the smokehouse, and that'll just take a little bit of time. Look at it work. Steam building up in the pipe. Smoke coming out of the smoke pipes. Oh, that's some good looking smoke. I like that. Now we got a ways to go to make that. Well, let's take a look at our next goals. So it looks like we have 4 more lined up after this one's complete. So let's speed up time. We're going to need a lot of wood then, if we're doing all this smoking and brewing. Moods are improving a little bit. I think we have enough people to where we should build some more homes. Even though this is a tutorial, we'll try to do a little bit more. And we'll move some trees out of here. Looks like the lumber camps won't reach, but we'll make do for now. Ah, that looks to be wheat. I thought it was perhaps crops that dried out, but seems to be a whole different type together. We have one human who can work there. Where can we scale back on some labor? Let's go with the trapper. We'll take that one person and put them into the brewery. Okay, now let's enable the recipe for barrels. Enable barrels in the ale recipe. There we are. Okay. And now we just need to brew 20. Speed up time again. Alright, so 4 grain plus 1 barrel will make 1 ale. Now we don't have a cooper in order to make barrels, so it might be made automatically by the brewery. And there we go. Nicely done. Okay, let's pick another, claim another order or reward for that. And let's go with more people. And let's go with efficient grain bags. Alright, we need a tavern to produce leisure. Gotta be under town buildings. We have to unlock it first. And I bet it is under town buildings. Well, here it is. Now, what are we going to name our tavern? I would love to know what names you might come up with for a unique, funny, especially punny type tavern. That would be great. Let me know what ideas you've got. We have humans, we have beavers, we have lizards. We're against the storm. Somebody will think of something, I'm sure. Look at all those responses down there. There's got to be some good ones for sure for taverns. You guys always have them when it comes to these types of building games. Anytime we can build an inn or a tavern or something along those lines, we can always find something good. Alright, let's see if we build it here. Get that tavern built. Are we missing a material? Oh, we are. We're missing fabric. So one of the things we'll have to do is slow things down just a tad. And see if we can build a scavenger's camp. No. It is the... Oh, we can build another small hearth. Useful. Gather plant fiber. There it is. And we had some reeds around here somewhere. Actually, we had flax around here somewhere. There it is. And that'll help to construct that building. Okay, let's speed up time. Let's assign some people here. Oh yeah, we want a beaver for a barkeep. We're going to keep him at the tavern. Newcomers are waiting. Good. Let's go with, Yeah, let's certainly go with more fiber and such for the construction. And we could build some more houses too. And we could build a very nice roadway over here behind these houses soon. Right now they're just going to have to walk out into the forest, but we'll get it. Alright, 6 out of the 8 materials needed for fabric. And that should be everything. Be delivered shortly. And we'll make the construction of the tavern our #1 priority. So leisure will automatically be produced by providing the tavern with beer or ale, perhaps by, well, I'm assuming that's what makes it generate entertainment, but it should also be able to feed people and get some other processes done by delivering the other things like pickled vegetables or whatnot, so that'll be kind of cool. Once we get the happiness spreading through the town, we'll have a few different things taken care of. Brawling and leisure, yeah. Alright, looks like we're making plant fiber, so we'll need some sort of a weaver as well. We might need to process that into something. Wow, that music though. A crude workstation is what we're looking for now. We have additional people to do it. So gathering plant fibers is step 1, but we must be making the fabric. So we had some from the rewards we were getting, and we need to make some more here at the crude workstation. So yeah, let's go ahead and make sure we're making only fabric for now. And we'll assign a couple of beavers there, since they might get the material bonus for that. And there it goes, working. That music is so good. Ah, and the seasons have cleared. We're now in the drizzle, so we can finally plant again. Alright, so 6 plant fibers equal 2 fabric. And we should be gathering a bunch of that throughout the year. You can see a worker actually gathering, bringing back to the little harvester's camp. And then the crude workshop pumping away. They really want their tavern up, don't they? Alright, the rest of the materials should be delivered shortly. And we can pick another bonus. We're going with everything to get us more plant fibers for now. Woodcutter Camp has no trees nearby. Oh, good. We can finally move the building. Don't want to move towards the danger yet. Actually, we do, but we don't want to cut it down. Keep that area safe. Hey, finally, the tavern is done. Alright, I hope you thought of a very good name for it. There we go. A beaver and 2 humans walk into a tavern and they start their first day. Alright, nets or cannibalism. Wow. Gain 30 meat every time a villager dies or leaves. That is... leaves. Implies it's like, oh, you're leaving, huh? Oh. That is hardcore. That is, anytime cannibalism comes up, that is hardcore. Just throw that meat into the pile. Alright, we're at 17 leisure. Tavern's got some brewing going on. It looks like a jacuzzi out back. Actually, that's the brewery, but it still looks like a jacuzzi. And I feel like it could also be attached to the tavern. They even have the same style of building. The building styles here look really nice, too. combination of white stone and shingles, bricks and metal, a little steampunky too in some places. Very much like a Lego set or something, like a Lego blacksmith set. Okay, we're all done here, right? 2 more goals to go. Actually, we're already done with that one, so we completed that. And the final one is a pack of provisions, so we need to get that done. Hey, so 2 birds with 1 stone there. Let's go with a beaver house and a lizard. Oh, I picked the lizards. That's okay. Let's give them a house since they're working outside all the time in the fields. They definitely deserve some. Seriously, all of our lizards are out on the farm fields. Everybody else is kind of working inside. Only fair. And weird. That is a weird house. Alright, let's put down 2 houses for them. And let's make some provisions. So that should be made... where? At the makeshift post. So the makeshift post will get everything packed up to send back to our kingdom, so that way they can survive and thrive. Alright, there's going to be some shortages of a few things. Looks like we only have 1 meat deposit left. We got to go deeper into those meat mines. But we can still do things like farm eggs. So we're looking to ship herbs. Alternatives also include eggs. Wow, we're leveling up. Our overall character is leveled up as well. Our profile has leveled up. So we've unlocked a ton of new stuff. Paved roads, rain collector, crowded houses, for example. Sometimes bad things, like in Frostpunk with putting everyone in the same medical tent. Oh. Oh. We finished the goal ahead of time. We pretty much did it instantaneously. Wow. The world is a vast, ever-changing place, and at its heart lies the smoldering city. Your goal as Viceroy is to help rebuild it and secure the future of the Queen's subjects. Ah, yes. Use the resources you've gathered so far to construct the Obsidian Archive in the smoldering city. Oh, wow. Oh yeah, so a vast number of upgrades here. It's been present for quite some time in the game, and I'm sure they've done some rebalancing and added new ones as well. But it all probably begins with the Obsidian Archives all the way down here. Obsidian Archive Level 1. We're paying with that with food stockpiles. Oh yeah. Oh, you can see the lizards, humans, and beavers all together. Coming back to the city. Very nice. Beautiful. Reminds me a bit of, oh boy, I forget the name of that game. Heroes of Might and Magic. Very nice. And there's the rain. Beautiful. So then the goal is to continue to expand to different districts and basically take over all these cities and grow them into something special. The world's governed by the eternal Blightstorm cycle. It's almost upon us, so no caravans are allowed to embark. Click on the button next to the right screen to finish the cycle. And there we go. Basically your turn for the next couple of cities that you can build in that season. Wow. You're almost ready to venture on your own. Choose any map tile inside your embark range. So I'm assuming what's happening here is that every year the storms are trying to choke out and snuff out the last of the very little remaining light around this volcano. So long as the volcano is there, mankind and lizard kind and beaver kind can exist, but we must now start pushing out in all directions to re-establish a kingdom, which is kind of reminding me of They Are Billions a bit too. Alright, that is it for our time here today for Against the Storm. Out now. I like it. Glad to see it. And I'm glad you stopped in. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful day, and let me know what you think down below in the comment section. I'll see you all soon. Goodbye.